Legacy Emanuel's emergency room looks and operates differently than most other trauma centers. And that's all thanks to Dr. Bill Long.
I had a dream that this is what I thought I could make an impact on trauma more than I would make an impact in cardiothoracic surgery.
If you ever told Dr. Bill Long he couldn't do something, he would find a way to get it done.
You either roll over and quit or you keep going.
Born and raised on the eastern shores of Maryland, Long grew up in a life of medicine.
My dad was the first board-certified surgeon to go into that community and establish a career after World War II.
When it came time to pursue a career after high school, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. His parents, who were both in medicine, wanted him in anything but that field.
They wanted me to go to law school. They thought medicine was doomed because of the development of prepaid health care.
At Brown University, he found that law school wasn't for him. So he went against his parents' wishes and started taking pre-med classes.
Well, I knew the lifestyle, and my dad used to occasionally take me on rounds over at the hospital and occasionally into surgery. And the technical aspects of it, doing something with your hands and dealing with the patients and then doing something would be, it seemed a lot more exciting than sitting there and arguing, in the law court.
Long left Brown for the University of Maryland's med school. At the same time, he joined the Marine Corps Reserves and started to attend officer training school when a Navy admiral redirected him.
He said, I just want to let you know that I've talked to your dad and we've decided that you're not going to pass the eye examination to be a pilot. I said, well, that's not fair. And he said, well, life is unfair. He said, you need to go back to school. So that was it.
At the University of Maryland, he found a love for surgery, but it was during his time working at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland that the love for surgery was solidified.
Their adeptness in the operating room was incredible. I mean, I was going to become a Scottish citizen when I finished part of my rotations there. It was incredible.
He eventually moved back to the United States, and under a grant funded by the British government, he began to tour all the trauma centers in America and Canada.
Think about the magnitude of this. So here we are, funded by the British government, a guy in his residency and training to whom no one in the United States, no professor would even bother to talk to, is now coming through and interviewing them to see what they're doing in their research and taking copious notes and watching how they took care of trauma patients and everything else like that. And coming back from that, then you realize all the weaknesses and the strengths of what is done well, what's done well, and what's not done so well. The resuscitation rooms were on the 4th floor of the hospital, the emergency department was down, and the helipad was down on the 1st floor, radiologists on the 2nd floor, and the operating rooms were on the 3rd floor.
While working at the University of California, San Diego Hospital, he became a cardiothoracic surgeon. He learned how to use their bypass machine, and then revamped it, making it way less and easier to move.
You can put in the back of a helicopter or an ambulance. You can go anywhere in the Pacific Northwest and put somebody on bypass and bring them back alive instead of dead.
In 1983, Legacy Emanuel called. The Portland hospital wanted to develop a trauma center. Dr. Long had one stipulation.
I got up there and I said, well, I will come, but you have to sit there and commit to building a trauma center of my specifications so that everything is in one place. We're not going to go all over the hospital with the patient.
Long not only transformed how the trauma center worked, he improved it. Instead of a chaotic maze of sending patients from room to room, he organized it. This red line from the Red Star to the Green Star is a straight path from the ambulance bay and helipad to the operating room tables.
All right, you got 9 minutes to wrap this up. Let's go.
He even took the operating room and transformed how it worked. Nurses and doctors operated like a pit crew at NASCAR. Each nurse knew their spot. Surgeons had to learn to work alongside another surgeon.
It takes a while because you have to convince everybody. I mean, and people are preconditioned by where they trained.
In 1988, Legacy Emanuel was designated a Level 1 trauma center, the first in the Pacific Northwest. Long even started a mobile surgical transport team to fly out to some rural trauma patients so they could be brought back in for survival. He was instrumental in helping with one of the worst disasters on Mount Hood. He helped save one of the 2 survivors in the 1986 Oregon Episcopal School Mount Hood climbing tragedy.
So we had the one girl, Britton Clark, they did a video of her later on, but she survived intact.
Long also helped form a statewide system to give an organized approach to trauma care among both rural and urban hospitals.
My legacy would be that some of the concepts that we've introduced last. Other people want to improve upon them. I don't want to essentially want my name attached with it because it gets too complicated for that.
One place inside Legacy Emanuel you will find his name is upstairs in what's called the Hall of Hope. These are the faces of those that some thought wouldn't survive, but did. They're a reminder that there is always hope. And if you know Dr. Bill Long, you know he doesn't give up.